Sairam, offering my humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Baba. Sairam to all our listeners and welcome back to the Ashtottaram series, where every week we take up an Ashtottaram, understand its meaning and significance, and relate to it by listening to a beautiful experience. Today, I'd like to take you back to your Bal Vikas days and I'd like to narrate to you a story from the Bhagavata Puran. Once, the four Manasputras of Brahma, Sanak, Sanandana, Sanatana and Sanat Kumara decided to pay a visit to Lord Vishnu. At Vaikuntha, they were stopped by Jaya and Vijaya, the Dwarpals or the gatekeepers of Vishnu. The Manasputras, due to the strength of their penance, appeared as children. So, Jaya and Vijaya mistook them as children and told them Vishnu couldn't meet them as he is resting. The Manasputras took it as an offense and cursed the gatekeepers to take birth on earth and undergo worldly pain. Jaya and Vijaya then prayed to Vishnu to release them of this curse. Lord Vishnu said he cannot reverse this curse. Instead, he gave them two options. They can either be born as Vishnu's devotees for 7 births or take 3 births as sworn enemies of Lord Vishnu. After serving either of the births, they can return back to Vishnu in Vaikuntha. Jaya and Vijaya couldn't bear the thought of staying away from Lord Vishnu for 7 births and even have a possibility of not attaining him at the end of any single birth. So, they chose to be born thrice as enemies of Vishnu because in the end of each birth, Vishnu would have to come and vanquish them to liberate them. So, in Satyuga, they were born as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. In Treta Yuga, they were born as Ravana and Kumbhakarna. And in Dwapar Yuga, they were born as Shishupala and Dantavakra. Om Shri Sai Mukti Pradaya Namaha. Salutations to Shri Sai, who confers liberation from ignorance, misery and death. Our Vedic scriptures say that there are 4 pillars of life: Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. Moksha or liberation is the last stage of one's spiritual journey. One cannot attain liberation without going through the remaining 3 pillars. Just like the story from the Bhagavata Puran, Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba confers liberation from ignorance, misery and death. Baba says, human birth is a very special opportunity to seek liberation from the cycle of birth and death. On no other level does this opportunity exist. This is a very rare and privileged and limited only to life on earth. Every being yearns for human birth because only through human form one can realize God. Baba says the human body is an instrument to realize divinity. To attain this, one must give up bodily attachments. In order to get liberation, one must surrender one's mind to God. When God catches hold of the mind, all desires end, and once that happens, the mind is dissolved and the man is liberated. This condition is called Manolaya or Manonashan, which means the mind is annihilated and merges with its true entity. To make us understand this even better, Swami gives us the example of Gautam Buddha. He says that Buddha contemplated very deeply and realized that ultimately it is the mind that obstructs the progress in the process of self-realization. After this, he became amanaska, which means he removed all the barriers from the mind and attained nirvana, that is self-realization. Here's a very touching story of a little girl who attained liberation by the grace of Bhagwan Baba. Many years ago, one Swami was leaving to go to the banks of the river Chitravati along with some devotees. A 6-year-old girl came there. She noticed that Swami was walking bare feet, so she had brought a pair of sandals with her. She went up to Swami and requested him to wear the sandals. This gesture of the little girl pleased him immensely. He called her closer and said to her, "Ask whatever you want." Everyone was taken aback on hearing her demand, for she said, "Swami, I want to merge at your divine lotus feet." She was told to ask something else, but she kept insisting on the same thing. Finally, her wish was fulfilled. She suffered from fever for just 2 days and her soul merged in Swami. Our compassionate Swami fulfilled her wish and conferred her liberation. There is another story about Mr. and Mrs. Shankar Narayan of Kerala. Both of them had immense devotion for Swami. When Baba visited Kerala in 1959-60, he was pleased with their devotion and said, "Mrs. Shankar Narayan's devotion is great." In 1991, she passed away quite suddenly. Her daughter, who is a doctor, was mourning for her mother's death and had only one question in her mind: "Where has my mother gone? How is she?" Immediately, vibhuti and nectar started dripping from the photographs in her mother's puja room. It was as if Swami replied, saying, "Don't worry, your mother is with me now. Her life is fulfilled." Jaya Ma, Jaya Ma, Daya Karo Sai Ma, Jaya Ma, Jaya Ma, Daya Karo Sai Ma, Mukti Pradayini, Prema Pradayini, Shanti Pradayini Ma, Mukti Pradayini, Prema Pradayini, Shanti Pradayini Ma, Janani Ma, Janani, Jaga Janani, Sai Ma, Janani Ma, Janani, Jaga Janani, Sai Ma, Daya Karo Sai Ma, Jaya Ma, Kripa Karo Sai Ma, Jaya Ma, Jaya Ma, Daya